Good evening. Welcome to Your Time to Shine. And tonight I have a special guest, Shauna Fisher. You're becoming a regular.
I am. There you go. I'm the fill-in girl. Yay!
You are bright and shiny. So this is a show that it definitely empowers you to step into your gifts and to acknowledge that you have unique gifts. Even if you don't think you do, you do. And we're here to talk to you about what those gifts might be and how you can access them and how to live a more joyful life. So tonight, Shauna and I are going to be talking about joy. And what we mean by that is, where in your life can you be more joyful and find more lightness in your world? And this isn't hokey pokey unicorn kind of joy, but there's this reason that the joy energy is more supportive to your soul and to your purpose and to what you would like to accomplish here in life. Because when you're not in joy, when you're not that lighter energy, your body is physically contracted, and then you won't be receiving the information that could support you, or not as in as much of a flux or a flow in your life if you're contracted and not in that joy energy. And I can contest to that because I've been going through some things this week myself. And so sometimes even when we know and have information, we'll often still fall back into the old habits and the old patterns. We're familiar with that, and our bodies will actually do that. So what I'm going through right now is it's something that happens all the time, and I've created it, and I'm trying to stay positive, and I'm trying to look at it with light eyes and realistic. And sometimes the thoughts come in, though, like, is this going to happen? Can I make this happen? And my body, I feel my body contract, and it gets tense, and I get anxious. And it's really important to be in touch with your body all the time, because what your body is doing is very telling as to how much you can receive from the universe. Would you agree, Shauna?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to do that. And you have to find joy. And one thing that keeps popping into my head, and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, how could this be like aligning with your purpose? But it really is. So even just finding joy in the simplest of things, of like, if it rains, you go skip through the puddle, or you just skip for fun, or you get some bubbles and you blow some bubbles. Just, even having that childlike fun can get us out of our head, right? So if you just or if you have animals, play with your animals or with your kids, or, just have fun and maybe do something that you used to do when you were younger, like jump rope or, hopscotch. Just kind of get yourself out into a different mindset and bring in that joy, right? Do it. Yeah.
And probably the times that we least want to would be the most important time. Mm-hmm. So maybe keep a bottle of bubbles nearby.
Yeah.
Definitely a really good idea. Yeah. So if we're contracted and in that place of anxiety, opportunities that are knocking on our door, what we're asking for, we're not going to hear them, because we're not going to be in that mindful space of receiving what's there, because we're going to be blinded and not seeing what's outside of that because of the anxiety, because of the opposite energy of joy. Mm-hmm. And so in those times and in that space of anxiety, you got to think about, all right, body, do a really purposeful body scan in those times when you feel like you're going into anxiety or worry or fret. So you close your eyes and you imagine, the top of your head, imagine a white light coming down from the top of your head, and just slowly go down and through everywhere in your body, and take notice of where you are stressed, where you're tense, where you're contracting. And the white light will help you to dissipate and diminish wherever that tension is in your body, and bring that all the way down to your cute little toes and down to the earth. And so when you're in this space, if you're coming across something, that does create some anxiety in your life, go there often during the day. So you want to have your body outside of that anxiety space, so that in joy you can receive more information. So, and also what I tried doing this morning, rather than trying to figure it out and decide, okay, should I do this? Should I call there? Should I post that? How many, what can I do? There's just so much to do. Instead, I heard this voice in my head, my intuition saying, just find and be joy today. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like. Get out of this space, get out of your head, and just go do something that you're enjoying, because you're also then, like you said a minute ago, get out of your head, because when we're in our heads, we're in our heart. Not going to hear, whether you listen to your guide or you listen to information from the universe, or if your awareness is pretty alert, unless we're in joy, those things won't show up as easily. We won't hear them, because we'll be focused on the ick.
Oh, beautiful what you're saying. I was like, oh, just to imagine that. I just wanted to close my eyes. I was like, oh my goodness, that's so nice. And I just finished this color certification program, and a color that can really help bring joy, it just popped into my head, is kind of like a fluorescent limey green, kind of like that funky green color. That color is a really good color to envelop like that kind of joy. So if you're kind of like stuck in a funk, or kind of in a rut, then you tune into that color and just imagine that color throughout your whole body, or just see where that color pops up for you, and that can bring a lot of joy, because it's fun and it's just alive and it's full of joy. It's kind of like a Granny Smith apple, right? Kind of like that kind of offshoot of that color. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a great color to think about. Yeah. And also the apple too, nice and juicy.
Yeah. Bring some juice into your life. Joy. Yes.
Ooh, right.
Juicy joy, right? Yeah.
So think about that. Ooh, that just brought up something. So while you're in a space of joy or happiness or lightness, you can take that moment or that time, grab a notebook, and start writing down some things, some ideas that will bring you joy, so that when you go into that space, you'll have a list of what you can jump into and do. Because when we're cranky and angry and anxious, we're not going to be thinking clearly. We're not going to be saying, oh, let me go do something joyful. But if you have a list somewhere visible, when you are in that space, you can then go look at that list. Oh yeah, okay, let me try just one of those things on the list, and maybe that'll make it easier to jump from anxiety to joy.
Ooh, you could call it the jump from anxiety to joy list, right? The jump to joy list.
Take the leap.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
And even if, so it doesn't even have to be something major, like a big activity. It could be like a food, like you were talking about the apple. It can be something that, chocolate mousse.
Ooh, nice.
Cookies in your refrigerator.
Yeah, those are always good.
And hands that your body lights up for.
Or some cannoli.
Okay, there you go. That'll work.
Yeah.
So yeah, the idea is being that energy of joy. So being connected all the time to your body. So practicing that, doing body scans every day, and yeah, having that joy list available so that when you're feeling cranky, you can look at something, you can lick the list at your list and find something on it to try and, just get you out of that funk. And I can almost promise and guarantee that it will shift your energy, so that something different, what else is possible, will show up rather than anxiety energy. So I think that would be a fun activity to try. I might do it when we're done. I'm going to go do that when we're done.
I know, me too. I love it. It's good.
So what is something that brings you joy?
Oh gosh, me?
Yeah.
I would say me, my dog Coolip, and my cat Leo. I mean, Coolip is like the joy. Like she is just always happy and, goofy and just in the moment. Like one of her favorite things to do, she takes her toys and she throws them out of her mouth. And sometimes if I'm kind of in a funk and sitting with her, she'll take her toy and like literally like throw it at me, or she'll just throw it around all over the place and run up and down off the bed. And she's just like, find joy. I'm having fun. I'm not worrying about that. Just have fun, have fun. And animals bring so much joy. I mean, she's, probably my biggest, spot of joy. So, yeah. What about you?
Oh, definitely my dog. No question. And you.
Oh, and you too. I forgot you too. Yes. Yeah.
Friends and community are really
yes.
And today, one of the things I did today, and I did this too, and I had cancer 13 years ago. I watched a funny movie, because laughter equals joy, right? So I watched a funny, silly, stupid movie.
Oh, those are good. I love funny movies. Yep. For some reason, oh my gosh, one of my favorite funny, it's, funny and serious is I love Benny and June. So I love the part, if anybody's seen it, where they're making like the grilled cheese with the iron and, they're just having fun and it's just, being in the moment and their adventures together. I love that movie, Benny and June. It's really good. Yeah. Yeah. And Johnny Depp's not too bad to look at. So that's like kind of an added bonus to the movies.
There you go.
That can bring joy.
Yeah, exactly. That'll lighten up the body.
Yeah.
I love that. Also, being outside helps too. So if we take our bodies when we're feeling anxious, and acknowledging that, I need something different here. Going outside and the fresh air does a world of good for the body.
Fresh air.
And music, fun music to dance around the house too. That works almost every time when I'm in a funk.
Oh yeah. Fun music. And one thing to add, like about the fresh air, is when you put your feet in the grass or in the sand or whatever kind of natural, or in the dirt, there's so much that's invigorating about that, because it connects us to the earth again, right? It's
Oh, and that just makes me think of kids. So what do kids do to have fun? They get dirty. They roll around in the mud. So yeah, in a funk, go be a kid.
Yep.
And so, especially I've come across lately a lot of people, in a funk, not feeling good about their lives or their choices or what's going on in the world. And so, yeah, just take these times whenever you possibly can. Do a body scan. Remember what it's like to be a kid. What do kids do to find joy? And just take some time and do and be that.
Yeah. That's an important reminder. That's huge.
So, are you ready to take a caller, Miss Shauna?
I'm ready if you're ready. Let's do it.
Penny is calling from Aurora, Colorado.
Ooh.
Hi, Penny. Welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you,
Hi.
Penny.
Okay, I can hear you. Are you a psychic or a medium?
Shauna is everything.
Everything.
Yes.
I need everything.
Shauna can do it all. How can we support you tonight?
Well, I'm in a court battle with my ex-employer, and I wanted to know what you see for that.
I see that with your ex-employer, whatever resistance that you're holding on to and whatever kind of like that's making you like all steamed up inside because, about kind of what happened with them, even as not good as it was, just let that flow out of you. I just see like a little swirl, like kind of going down the drain. Just let that go down the drain and let that go. And that's really going to help because the more like confident and clear and calm and collected you are, that's going to make the outcome better for you. Does that make sense? The more you stand strong, I feel like it's going to help the outcome. The more you just like these are the facts and stick to that I feel like that's going to really help. And I know that's not easy, right? But that's what I pick up on. What about you, Darlene?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So expanding out like your energy. So really stand in your confidence and your knowing, and being very present and grounded in that space in the courtroom. And like what Shauna was saying, when we're in resistance to something, it doesn't help the situation. So whatever happens, sort of come to terms with it as much as you can. You can do some white light around yourself or around whatever the issue was, whether that takes some forgiveness or, Shauna, I like the metaphor that you gave, that visualization. Just send it to the earth, whatever is ready to release. Because then when you go into that courtroom, you won't have that heavy energy or that resistance present with you, and things will flow much more easily.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah, we're not always conscious of how our energy affects the situation at hand. And when we're conscious of that and we clear our heads and we stand energetically strong, but not in anger, because anger isn't the trick. It's to be
right,
potent and confident and bright. And that's really the key. So when we're paying attention to our bodies and the energy that we're emitting to the room around us, when we're conscious of that, it really helps tremendously. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody coming through for me?
I mean, somebody that passed away, right?
Yes.
Yes. It's interesting because I feel like two things come through and I feel like they're like neck and neck. So I feel like there's like a horse race, but they're not horses. So I feel like there's like a grandma energy and then like an uncle energy, and they're like kind of like neck and neck. They're like dun 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 dun, and they're like both like coming to you, and it's kind of like the wheels on a train turning, and they're just like, we got this, we're here with you, we're racing alongside you. It's like they're one's on the left side of you and one's on the right side of you, and they're just kind of working with you and they're rolling with you with everything that's going on, and you feel their presence just kind of zap through you, kind of like a firefly or lightning bug energy. It just like zaps you really quick, like you feel their energy, and sometimes you might be like, oh wait, where did that come from? And I feel like that's them kind of coming to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense at all? It's like and it doesn't have to be like a metaphoric uncle or grandma, but it's that energy of the grandmother and the uncle energy.
Okay. Well, I was never close with any of my uncles or anything like that, but I was more hoping for my father.
Oh, you know what's interesting is right when you say your father, I see like this pyramid and I see your father sitting on top of the pyramid and he's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm always here. I'm balancing for you. I'm always your balance and I will always be your balance." Right? Cuz who can sit on top of a pyramid? So he's like the message that he's sending is he's always your balance and he's always there. He's always just like he's like your little genie. He's just sitting there like this like, "Here I am. I'm ready for you," and he's always there for you. Does that make sense? Like he's always there. He's your rock.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And he has humor. He wants you to bring back more
wanted
humor.
to know from you ladies. Those
Yeah.
were the questions that I had and needed answered.
There you go. And remember, bring back more humor in your life. Your dad is saying, bring back more humor. You need humor sometimes. Remember that. Give yourself time to laugh.
All right, I will do that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good luck, Penny. All right, we have a couple minutes left, and we have a caller. And you're so good at this, Shauna.
Oh, thank you. It's fun. I love it.
No, you do. So we have Debbie calling from Topeka, Kansas. Debbie, you're on the air.
Hi there.
Welcome. How can Shauna and I help you tonight?
So, I just basically am wanting I just recently moved to a new location, and I thought, my life is going very, very well. But I'm just wondering, basically general information, like any sort of energy that you may see or feel around where my future's going. Romance would be one of my questions.
Yeah. So I feel like this move that you just went on, it like really was breaking you out of your comfort zone because you don't know many people there. So I feel like I see like a cup of coffee and like these like steam coming from this coffee. So I would go check out like local coffee shops, see if they have like a poetry night and open mic night, and go do some things that like are outside of your comfort zone even more that you've been wanting to try. And I feel like that's going to come to you because you're in a place of like accepting new things and not in a place of resistance. So the more you go out and seek that and find that joy, then different people are going to come to you. And it could be you meet that person when you're there doing these things, or it could be you meet somebody there that draws you to that person. Does that make sense? So just,
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And do you have anything else as far as any advice that is around? I had like a calling to move, and I only moved about 30 minutes away from where I was living before, but it's a small town community, and I had this huge draw to it. It just kind of opened itself up to me, and I practice law of attraction, and I knew that that's pretty much what I had already kind of manifested and had been putting in my journal that I wanted. So everything's kind of opening up, but it's one of those, like everything is unknown for me right now on a logical sense. It's all completely from an energy vibration kind of place.
Yeah, and it sounds like a beautiful place. And for some reason, I don't know if you've ever watched the show Gilmore Girls, but Gilmore Girls came into my mind, like it was that small town and they would always go to Luke's Diner and, do that. So like find like places in the community like that, because that's the first thing that came to my mind. So
yeah, that's so funny. My daughter watches Gilmore Girls. I don't, but when she saw the town, she goes, "Oh my gosh, this is the Gilmore Girls town."
I love it.
It's so funny. Of all the shows that you just mentioned, that one was the one that she had pointed out. I was like, I've never seen it, but I get it because the energy that she has around saying it, like she was so excited about it. So I'll have to, definitely, that's true, because there are the little diners and the little shops and the restaurants and the whole thing, so.
And being in that energy that you're in right now, you'll just be drawing people to you naturally. And
excellent.
Being in
one of the things I wanted to do is possibly do a law of attraction, like a seminar here, and it's kind of opposite of what most of the towns in my area would offer. It's very a Bible Belt area, and but I wanted to do that. It just kind of felt like something like that might be what this particular spot that I landed in may be an opening to that. Do you pick up anything around that?
Well,
I get a big yes.
Debbie, right?
Really, a big one?
We're closing up for the night. And if you'd like to continue the conversation, you can go to our page on Facebook, Your Time to Shine. And I see you being such a bright light in this space. So try whatever comes to you. Just like the move, you're a phenomenal creator. Just keep at that and just keep acknowledging your joy and your manifesting skills. So
Excellent.
Go out there.
I appreciate that. What was your Facebook page again?
Your Time to Shine.
Your Time to Shine. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay,
Well,
I will definitely do that. Thank you so much.
Well, that was fun. Shauna, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're so welcome. That was so much fun. I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
And if you are interested in going to yourintuitivementors.com, Shauna and I are actually doing a class coming up soon to communicate with animals and animal energy healing. So yourintuitivementors.com, and the class is going to be online. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can even stay in your pajamas and learn how to talk to animals and how to heal them.